Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending our session on Capita and CRL working together. We're presenting today on helping to reduce latent defects in new homes. So who are we? CRL, we're the actual provider of the latent defects insurance, and Capita Building Standards are the actual people doing the on-site inspections. We believe in customer satisfaction. We have a membership. We can talk briefly about the inspection process and technical standards. We believe in bringing added value to the clients, and we want to work together in relationship to reduce defects and costs. We have national coverage. So we've been working together for over 12 months together, looking at innovation in the marketplace. One example is our partnership with CIHhousing16, who are building the largest modular factory in the UK, based in Leeds, and they are looking at producing 30,000 homes a year. So we've had to look at a different way of how we can work with CIHhousing16 on the building control and the warranty inspection side. And that's taken a whole new approach to how we do business. There's of course the difference between building control and the warranty standards, and we know there is a slight difference there and the overlap. So we have to work together to make sure that we meet the requirements of the council and mortgage lenders to provide a mortgage on a new home that will last over 60 years. So CRL started in 2011 with approximately 100 staff, and we provide 10 and 12-year structural warranties. Chris?
Capita Building Standards, I'm not sure so many of you know the Capita brand, but Capita Building Standards is a subsidiary of Capita PLC. So Capita PLC is about 72,000 employees in the UK and in Europe. Founded back in 1984, about 33 members of staff, where they identified the opportunities for integrating ICT predominantly into the public sector. But very much the ethos of Capita is about developing strong relationships and collaboration with clients and with partner companies. So we formed Capita Building Standards, part of the local government health and property division, about 12 months ago, so it's quite a new company, a very dynamic company though. Since then we've obtained the accreditations as a National Recruitment Inspector. We're licensed by the Construction Industry Council.
So we have our combined insurance for the peace of mind for our clients. So we're looking at developing long-term relationship with housing associations, developers, for private and for social landlords. And we have our main areas of cover, which is the 10-year structural insurance, and that can be extended to 12 years for social residential landlords. We can provide supplementary areas of cover for demolition costs, design and procurement, and with limits and excesses on each policy. So we have a high customer satisfaction. We do regular surveys, and we have built our reputation in the market based on customer satisfaction. We employ relationship managers who are there to actually maintain the relationships with the professional clients, and to ensure that we are meeting their demands and providing the service that they actually expect, which is slightly different to the competition. On the latest survey, we've got 9.2 out of 10 for customer satisfaction, which we believe is very good. So CRL and Capita are working together then. We have a membership, which everybody on the construction register has to have, and ours for 1 year is £395, including VAT. This is the initial fee. If the applicant wants their policy to remain valid before completion of the new build, and that takes longer than 12 months, we have to renew the membership, and that renewable fee is £295. So if the development goes on for 18 months, you pay the initial and the renewal. If you don't do any further developments, there is no further membership fees. Chris?
So I should have said at the beginning of the presentation that although we're quite a new company, only still existing as Capita Building Standards for 12 months, we've got a long history of working with local authority building control departments in a number of local authorities in England, predominantly in this area. We're in partnership with Salford City Council under the brand of Urban Vision. We work with Barnet, London Borough Barnet, under the brand of Reed. We also work with North Tyneside and Breckland over in Norfolk, so quite a spread across England. So we've been very much focused around delivering quality services to our clients. And one thing that we identified as part of our local authority involvement is that the client requires obviously a latent defects insurance, but the constant frustration that they have is that you've got two people on site. You've got guys doing inspections for latent defect insurance and building control. So early on in the development of the business, we looked for a partner, insurance partner. So we developed the relationship with CRL, and the benefits to developers is that we give that consistent interpretation of standards, so for building regulations and for latent defect warranty purposes as well. So you get a single surveyor on site. I suppose the closest that you've got currently in the marketplace is NHBC, where you will have that relationship. However, we believe that we offer a superior service, and I'll leave you to decide whether that is the case. Once you've seen our presentations, you get that consistent interpretation of standards, that single surveyor, one report. So when one of our surveyors goes out on site to undertake the inspection for building regulations and for insurance purposes, you get a single report identifying any issues. Also leads to the building control and warranty certificates being provided then in our portal in the same location, and you immediately access all documents relating to that process with final certificates, initial notes, etc. So no waiting for emails. As soon as we've done the inspection, you immediately get the final certificate for building control and cover for the insurance as well.
So the benefits of the membership with CRL is you get a dedicated relationship manager who will be your long-term partner. You get ongoing support and free no obligation quotes. It's valid for structural defects insurance, road bonds, developer insolvency cover, and building control and warranty inspections. And it's eligible as long as you are a member of our construction register, the builder is solvent, or the developer is solvent, technically qualified and sound to actually produce the type of buildings that they're producing, and compliant with all the legislation that goes along with building.
So the process itself, if you've already got an existing relationship with Capita or with CRL, then you can make that introduction. We will then provide you with a detailed quotation for building control and for warranty purposes, or latent defect insurance purposes. I always refer it as warranty, and I always get told off. So I'm trying to do my best to make sure that I comply with all our requirements of our partner. So once you've got the quotation has been provided, on acceptance of the quotation, you then submit the application through our portal, which I'll explain briefly in the next couple of slides. We'll then undertake a technical assessment, and that is for building regulation compliance and for defect insurance purposes. And at the end of the process, then we will provide joint certification. So we've worked very closely with a technology company, and they've developed our online portal for submission of applications. For those of you who have ever submitted applications through the local authority process, it will look and feel very similar in terms of the application process. As you see on the left-hand side here, it's quite a simple process. You've got a series of tabs here for completion. This is jumping back and forwards. So on completion of those tabs, you submit the application through to us. You will then get acknowledgement of that application within 24 hours. We will then keep you up to date exactly what that process has been followed. So when we're undertaking any consultations on your behalf on that application, those are shared with you at every stage. So you have access to this portal. You can see on here is an indication of this would be all of your applications. So you could drill down into that application and see exactly what is happening on it in terms of the inspections being undertaken, consultations being undertaken on our behalf. Very much the focus of our service is about giving that transparency behind what has often been seen as, well, we put the application into the local authority, we don't see much response within sort of 4 or 5 weeks, etc. Then we get a list of amendments, but as we're vetting the plans, as we're checking the plans, you will get an instant feedback on that. So we're using the Capita Building Standards inspectors and surveyors based within our local authority partnerships for undertaking inspections for both purposes. And they are trained on the CRL standards and obviously very familiar with the types of claims associated with the art form of construction, fully conversant with the England and Wales standards for building regulations as well. The reason I put the 2 approved documents there is that we've got teams based in England and Wales, so if you're working in England or in Wales, then obviously there's difference in terms of the building regulation standards now, since the devolution of powers. So we've got our teams are fully conversant with both sets of regulations. I was actually on the Building Regulations Advisory Committee for the Welsh Government when, at the devolution stage. And our standards, the CRL standards are available on the USBs, which they may or not be in those bags, and obviously the approved documents themselves are available online as well.
We also do technical guidance if you're doing conversion projects, existing buildings that are being converted, office blocks, for example, into flats. And within the technical standards, we have a section on guidance for conversions, which is very typical at the moment. It's a very topical subject, and people are doing a lot of it. It's very easy to read documentation. It tells you what type of inspection reports are required for warranty quotes. So, you know, we've got to be able to manage risk on behalf of the insurer. So we do need condition reports, which tells us what parts of the structure is being retained and what is going to be new. So, for example, within an existing building that could be quite old, it's been converted, we would like to see a damp and timber report, a structural report on the condition, and an expected life expectancy, because at the end of the day, the building has got to comply not just with our requirements, but also the Council of Mortgage Lenders requirements for the lifespan for conversions, which has a life of 30 years, and for new build, 60 years. Now, we do know there can be a difference between building regulations and the warranty requirements. And we always say the warranty requirements are more on the workmanship side of the standards, because obviously the quality is very important to homeowners, and whereas building regulations are the minimum requirements required for health and safety, the warranty requirements can and will be higher in certain instances. So with our partnership, we can actually have those online discussions about new products in the market, and we can agree for new modular systems coming in from abroad or from America and Canada, which we have had in the past, and we can approve those for warranty purpose, because building regulations have also got to approve them, and we have to work together to have a product that the client wishes to use, but it will also meet the requirements of the building regulations and the insurance structural requirements. And to help this, on site, we also have an inspection checklist for the builders. So it's a self-regulation guidance form for the builders, so they can look at each stage of the building's inspections and actually go through it himself beforehand and say, right, have I met the requirements? This is what the building inspector is going to be looking for. And if he has a problem, say with basements, and we specifically ask for a 10-year insurance-backed guarantee on the actual workmanship and materials, that can be raised right at the outset with building control, because they will actually flag that up to the building. Likewise with roofs, we want a 10-year insurance-backed guarantee for the products that's been used in roofing. So the early cooperation between building control and warranty and the client is vital to the risk that's associated with the project, and ultimately that leads to the risk to the insurer and what price is put onto that residual risk. We have 3 key stages for inspections, and we call these initial, interim and final. And these are risk-based alongside the building control inspections. The initial is obviously when the site starts and you're digging the foundations, and final is pretty much self-explanatory, it's on completion. The interims are then based on the risk associated with that construction and the duration of the construction. And the guidance there helps the builder to make sure he's hitting each inspection stage prior to the building control coming out to do their inspection.
So from the building control perspective, what you will get is a tailored inspection framework that will be based on the R requirements in terms of as a developer, depending on the type of product that you're wishing to construct. For instance, referring back to, as Carl referred to, the legal and general scheme, the majority of that work is actually undertaken within the factory. It's been a modular form of construction, so we then have a presence within the factory environment, ensuring that the product, as it leaves the factory, is already compliant with warranty standards and building regulations, and then we will tailor the inspection framework on site according to that form of construction. And that will be the same for every project. We haven't got a one-size-fits-all inspection framework. But when we're developing that inspection framework, of course, we're looking at those 3 key inspection stages for latent defect insurance. I'm getting it right every time. I'm really impressed myself. And so we will build that into our inspection framework. As Carl said, this is supported by the inspection checklists for builders, and I think that is quite important, is that you will get that framework at the point of application. You might even get it prior to that at the quotation stage, depending on how much interaction we've had prior to the application come in. And that again will be supported then, that framework will be supported by inspection checklists for each of those stages, which I think is key.
So, where do we consider it to be added value? What do we consider it to be? We have a customer portal where you can request a quote 24/7. You can edit your account information and contact details. You can view the membership benefits and your expiry date of your membership when it's due to renew. You can see and accept quotes. You can make payments online, request the surveys, and again, because it is a portal, once it's, the quote is paid, it's automatically set up. You can request your surveys, and at that point, it's live, it's within the system, and Capita will see the actual client, the request for the initial surveys, and they will then tailor the actual inspections to meet the actual regime of the building process. You can view your inspection reports online, because again, we're trying to get visibility for everybody. So the architect will be able to get in and see the details, the project managers will be able to get to see the details, and your quantity surveyor, and even the bank valuers would be able to go into the portal, obviously with the client's permission, and get the relevant information that they need for drawdown payments to actually speed the process up. You can view your final certificates once it's produced. We're going through the process of automating as much as possible within the system. So after the final inspection, once all the paperwork is together online, you'll be able to view your final certificate and download it. So again, the buyers, solicitors will be able to get all the details online, hopefully then reducing timelines and waiting requests. You have access to free resources to the technical information and technical standards, and again the technical helplines regarding differences in the warranty and building control, or there may be changes that the architect is requesting, and that can be fed in through the portal. And biggest benefit will be all documents are online, so we're trying to reduce the natural resource on paper and save trees by being carbon efficient and reducing everything down.
Yeah, and an important point there is that we have a requirement on us to make sure that the records are available for at least a minimum of 16 years after completion. So all your applications will be sat on that portal indefinitely. We don't then delete them off after that 16 years. So if you want to then go back into that record, if it was a single dwelling, for instance, you want to go back into that record and say, gosh, I need to find my HITAS certification or my FENSA certification, etc. If that's been provided to us as part of the application process, that is available for you then indefinitely to go down and download again for our purposes.
Added value from the CRL point of view, we have joint resources and advertisements and training. Obviously we can provide site banners, flags, high visibility jackets, hard hats, pens, the normal merchandise that can be joint branded and provided as part of the membership package. And there is other professional CPD training courses being organised as well. CRL is a certified CPD provider, and we will be going around laying on training for the inspectors, for clients, builders, architects, so they know exactly what the requirements are. And that's for bonds, insolvency, deposit protection, the actual technical standards themselves, on the membership requirements. We will be providing training as part of the membership package, and this will be released, the details of that will be released at a later date. Other added values, we do daily social media blogs, we do monthly newsletters, and we send these out to the architects. We have newsletters and bulletins for the builders and developers, lenders and solicitors. We do products and system approvals. At the show over the last couple of days, we've been speaking to other providers, and they're coming to us and saying, can we look at this particular product for a warranty, where we're slightly different to competitors. We will look at it and base it on the risk and evaluate it, and then look in turn with Capita Building Standards and assess it for meeting the requirements of both the building regulations and the warranties. We can look at the pricing. We have a CRM systems interface, which we've just been talking about, the portal, the customer portal. We have the marketing teams working together, and other services that we can provide, such as SAP assessments, rights of light, air testing, road bonds, and other construction-related products. So we're trying to build up the whole network by working together, and obviously we can draw on the vast resources of Capita, which can then help the clients have a one-stop shop, which we think working together would be a great benefit.
I couldn't resist that. If you've been watching the football, that's the strapline, of course. You might have noticed that I'm Welsh. Together strong. So I pinched that for our partnership as well, because I think it reflects what we believe is the right ethical approach to delivering quality on site, is that you have a single point of contact, and together, working together, we are a stronger team.
So at this point, we'd like to ask, are there any questions? Yes?
I'm on the client side, I'm also on a market subsidiary. So you're fairly new, and also very blunt. So what happens if you go pop?
We won't go pop. Capita is a well-established market.
Yeah.
And we are governed by the FCA regulations as well, so that is fully compliant. We have to comply with Insolvency 2. So the insurers will always have the backup of the FCA system. So
there is.
Yes, there is.
It's continuity.
Yes, it's continuity in the market. Anybody else?
Joint clients, I think at the moment it's about 80, but some of those clients are significant projects. For instance, like the legal and general arrangement. We've just secured the first two developments of legal and general, and one of those developments is over 600 units, so to give you some sort of scale of the developments. They're significant, and so and our background, obviously from the building control, so through our local authority partnerships, we're probably delivering building control at the moment on, I think at the last count, it's about 12,000 projects a year. So, we've got an established presence in the marketplace in terms of building control. And I see our relationship with CRL is only adding benefit to that existing process. So we can work with CRL not just in relation to Capita Building Standards in terms of the approved inspector, but we have projects as well where we're offering the CRL product in conjunction with our local authority work as well. So it's not mutually exclusive to Capita Building Standards. So that might be of an interest to you if you've particularly got a relationship with the local authority. So we can do it through both channels really, and that was one of the objectives when we set the business up, was that we could offer both channels to developers. Housing associations, etc. Often we've got very good relationships with the local authority, and they like to see that the services of the local authority are being utilised, and we've got no desire to break that down at all. What we want to do is to make sure that we offer the product that the client wants, and whether that be through the approved inspector route. Some clients like the contractual relationship that exists between a building control body as a approved inspector and the client, and some are not bothered, they'd rather just have the statutory relationship between the local authority. So it's horses for courses, but as Capita Building Control, as we refer to it, which is the overarching structure, then we can offer both options.
And CRL are a growing company in the market. We're firmly established at number 3 in the market, pouncing on the heels of certain competitor at number 2, and we believe we will be overtaking them very quickly in the marketplace. We are flexible. We've built our company on the relationships built with the clients. It's not left to the inspectors on site. We have a dedicated team of relationship managers, and their job is to manage the expectations of the clients, and that's how we're growing in the marketplace. Firmly established since 2011. CRL originated from Northern Ireland, and that was set up in 2004 originally. So the brand is getting out into the marketplace and growing. We're up to about 100 employees, and we are getting ourselves into the market. And by attending seminars like this and further working with Capita on larger schemes, innovation, and this is where we believe we can add value in the marketplace, working with developers, social housing associations, and bring to market a fully united product that we can then build on and go forward and keep that relationship going.
We kept this short because obviously I'm sure you're very keen to go anyway. So, I notice everybody disappearing. About +1, we think, oh, it was 1 o'clock. Sorry, I was thinking, gosh, are we going to have anybody in here to listen to that presentation?
Yeah.
I think it's our own fault because we are streaming it live as well. So a lot of people have thought that they can actually just watch it on the train. I'm sure that's what they're doing.
So,
okay.
thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you.